started, how this is going to roll, I'm going to talk for a little while, and then I'm going to answer a bunch of questions, and then I'm going to stick around and sign, personalized books or take photos until we have to get out of here around 8 o'clock, so as long as we can. And then, yeah, just here to be a service to you guys, and I really appreciate you all coming out. This is fucking awesome. But before I start talking, I wanted to let my fiance, Whitney, come say a few words. Because obviously, to create a book like this requires the work of a lot of different people. And it's people who are actually working on the pages of the book, people who are working on the cover of the book, like Stephanie McBride, who's here. And then there's the people who are handling all the things at the office when I couldn't be there, and a lot of them are here holding it down. And then, of course, the people holding it down at home, keeping me sane, keeping me from losing my mind when I'm writing those long hours, giving me the space to create something like this. So just wanted to acknowledge her, let her tell some of that story from my side, from her side, and she's on the back cover of the book for a reason, and this is a book that's not just for me and not just for the guys, this is for everyone. And if it wasn't for my relationship with her, this book would be half as good. So here is Whitney Miller.
So I thought I was coming over here to introduce him, and so he decided to introduce me first, but I like it, I'm down with it. But yeah, this process for him has honestly been truly incredible. Something that I've been honored to be by your side, to witness this entire thing go on, and to me this day is just as exciting as it is for you. And so congratulations on this big monumental experience. This is going to be epic. But yeah, like you said, this has been a journey for him. It started years ago, when he started writing in a book called Go For Your Win. And it actually turned into an online course. And so we didn't really know where we were going to go from there. And then he decided to write another book called Own the Day. And from there it was sleepless night after sleepless night, after solo trip, and weekends and early mornings. And I remember multiple nights, whether it was 2 a.m. in the morning or 4 p.m. in the afternoon, or Sunday when everyone's partying out by the pool and you're writing the book, or I'm doing laps in the pool and you're wishing you were out there. But he would come to me and say, you know what, I just don't think I can do it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I can't write this book. But it was meant to be. And you continued to push through that resistance. And that's what keeps Aubrey going. And he put everything into the pages of this book. He truly wants to make the world a better place. He truly wants to help everybody live a more fulfilled, more optimized, happier life. That is his mission. And through this book, he gets to do that. He gets to touch so many people's lives that he can't be physically close with. And it's been amazing, and I'm so happy for you. I don't know what else to say, but so with that said, please welcome Aubrey Marcus, the now published author of Own the Day.
All right, everybody. So let's start this off. I want everybody to take a moment. We're about to do some visualization. So in the chapter of the book that talks about what to do when you drive in, I talk about taking 6 deep breaths, which in a Japanese study showed was significant enough to create a state change. Just 6. So we all have heard the expression, take a deep breath, right? Like, all right, take a deep breath. Well, that doesn't do shit. But 6 deep breaths, on the other hand, does. And that's enough to create a state shift. It's enough to lower blood pressure. It's enough to change the state of mind. So, all 150 of us here in this room right now are going to take 6 deep breaths and center ourselves for a little visualization we're going to do to start this party off right. All right, so breathe with me deeply 6 times. Ready? Shit's a little different, right? Like, it's crazy that breathing is this thing that our autonomic nervous system will do automatically. We will breathe and not pay attention to that shit at all day. But then when we take control over it, when we start to consciously breathe, then we can start to alter our body, we can start to alter our mind, we can start to alter different ways that we live. This is the basics of the human operating system. Take control of your breath. But what do we learn in school? I don't know, some random fucking dates that we've already forgot by the time the test is over. Like, why don't we learn how to breathe? Why don't we learn how to use sunlight and water and make love to each other and sleep and move our body? Like, it's weird. What are we doing? It's like we go into these cars and we don't have an instruction manual. Like, how are we going to figure that shit out? And that's really, the motivation behind writing this book, is I felt like the human organism lacked an instruction manual. Like, we're checking the fucking glove box and all there is a bunch of blogs telling us a bunch of chaos and a bunch of people telling us weird things like eggs are as bad as smoking cigarettes, and you're like, what? That doesn't sound right, but I guess I'm throwing my eggs away. Hint, eggs are not as bad for you as cigarettes, eggs are fucking good for you. So it's crazy the world that we're in and the paradigm that we've been in, where people are replacing butter, which people have been eating for thousands of years healthfully, with these trans fats and margarines and getting horribly sick. And we're like, yep, doing it for the heart. What? It's a weird paradigm, it's a weird world that we found ourselves in, where not only are we absent an instruction manual, which is like our Paleolithic ancestors who just kind of went off instinct and sniffed everything and tasted half of it. Like, that's a pretty good plan. But what's worse is just listening to a bunch of chaos and bad information and then really not knowing what the fuck to do. Like, that's the state that I think a lot of us have found ourselves in, unless we're really pushing the boundaries and exploring ourselves. So I wanted to take all of that information from the privileged position I've been in to be a part of Onnit and to be with great coaches and great performers and be on this journey my whole life and give the real shit. The stuff that's backed by science, the stuff that's backed by research, the stuff that you can count on, that's gonna work. And not just work for one particular goal, like to get swole or get skinny, but it's gonna work to live a life that's fucking beautiful, that's worth living, that includes having drinks at a night like this and celebrating and connecting with people. And includes having one too many drinks, because fuck it, that's medicine too. Like, you can't have a health book that doesn't address that shit. Like, you can't have an adult conversation about consciousness that doesn't talk about plant medicine. You just can't. It's not real. Like, you gotta open your mind to what is possible out here. And this is what I'm trying to do with this book, is to show how we can use these mostly free doctors all around us. Again, air, water, light, sex, sleep, movement, and live that life that at the end of our life, we look back and we're like, fuck yeah, that was good. And so that's the visualization that I want to lead you guys to. So I want you all to close your eyes right now. And I want, first, for you to imagine yourself 1 year from today. And I want you to imagine that that's been the best fucking year of your life. You've just been killing it. You've been kicking ass. Your nutrition has been on point. Your movement has been on point. Your confidence is swelling. Look at that person from a bird's eye view. See that person. See how fucking happy he or she is. See all that joy emanating from their heart, from their soul. Feel the confidence in having a body that moves and is healthy and listens. Feel the connections with friends and family as you move through your own fears and insecurities when you're really rooting for those people around you because you feel so fucking good. Feel what it feels like to have those people around you start to look up to you. Man, you've been killing it this year. I can't believe it. I'm so inspired by you. That's what everybody's saying around you. And then imagine yourself looking at them and being like, you can do that shit too. See how your body looks. See how, more importantly though, how you feel with energy, with love, with zest, with passion. Like, see yourself like that. That's fucking you. That's not a myth. That's not something that is impossible. That's you. That's you next year if you decide to. You just have to rely on the process. Do the steps, each simple little thing. You know a lot of them. You'll learn a lot more in this book. And you'll apply those. And that motherfucker is you in a year. It's you right now. You are that person. You're becoming that person. You've always been that person. That blueprint is within all of you. It's not adding something. You're not broken. You don't need to get fixed. You're fixed. You're fucking good. You just got to apply the course corrections, the process, the things to unlock what you really are. Everybody here is their own unique, beautiful machine that nobody can fucking duplicate. Never. You're that. And you can be that. There's nothing stopping you. You are powerful enough to do that. And then the second part of this visualization, we're going to go a little deeper. I want you to just hypothesize that when you expire from this body, and you're resting in a realm of pure consciousness, just follow me there, and you're looking back on your life. And you're looking back on the ups and the downs and the struggles and the trials and the triumphs. And you're looking at where your body rests as it decomposes and the lives that you've touched. And I want you to look from that perspective and see a life that had led up to that. A life that you could say, man, I fucking lived. I gave it hell. It was hard sometimes. It sucked sometimes. But man, it was fucking beautiful sometimes. I pushed through some difficult shit. I had challenges before me, challenges that people would never even know. But nonetheless, I made it through. This video game was the perfect game. It was hard. I couldn't beat it right out of the box. I had to work for it. I had to struggle. I had to wander. I got lost a lot, but I found my way back. And I fucking lived, and I did it. And that 21st century Earth role that I got to play, man, that was a good one. I'm happy about that one. That's you too. That's available to you too. Both of those roles. For a year from now, at the end of your life, all of that is possible. That's the goal. That's the goal. And it's okay. It's okay however you've been to get here now. It doesn't matter. All right, so you got lost a bunch. You meandered a bunch. You made some mistakes. So fucking what? So have we all. So have I 1,000 times. So still do I 1,000 times. Get lost in fucking caves of despair and self-doubt and self-loathing. Everybody, guess what? You're not alone if you felt those things. Everybody feels those things. Miss America feels those things. I feel those things. Fucking the top athletes in the world feel those things. You can be coming off a fucking Stanley Cup and 1 week later fucking hate yourself. It doesn't matter what role you're playing. We're all the same. We're all dealing with the same shit. And that's beautiful, because we're all learning. We all just have different games, different roles, different things we're playing. So everybody can open their eyes now. And why I wanted you to do that is to realize that this isn't something that needs to be a mystery anymore. This isn't something that needs to be a fantasy anymore. This isn't something for other people. You are the inspiring one. You're inspiring yourself. And what I hope is with this book and with the information that there's a process that you can just rely on, just relax into. Okay, what do I got to do? Oh, it's the morning. Okay, I got to hydrate. What next? Okay, I got to get some light. Okay, what next? I got to move. Oh, I'm in the shower. What next? Oh, I got to take 30 deep breaths. Okay. Oh, okay, I got to turn the water from hot to cold. Okay, I can do that. What next? Oh, okay, I got to eat a breakfast with lower carbs. Okay, I can do that. Or I can skip breakfast. Okay, I can do that. Okay, I got to get some, maybe add some supplements because I'm not finding enough omega-3s in my diet. Okay, I can do that. Okay, on my way to work, I got to take 6 deep breaths. Okay, I can do that. I gotta expand my gaze and relax myself in a state of mindfulness. Okay, I can do that. Okay, I have to have a mission when I'm at work. I have to have a plan. Okay, I can do that. I gotta say no to things. Okay, I can do that. I gotta eat a weird lunch. Okay, I can do that. I can do that. Oh, I gotta take a nap. I can do that. I can take a nap. Oh, I gotta work out. I gotta move my body. Yeah, all right. I can do that. That's no problem. Oh, I gotta get home and have a glass of wine and connect with my friends and family and loved ones. I can do that. I can do that. I gotta eat dinner. Enjoy it. Feast. I can do that. I gotta have some sex. I can do that. I gotta relax, unwind, journal. Yeah, I can do that. I gotta get some sleep. I can do that. I gotta forgive myself. That's a little harder. A little harder to forgive yourself. But you can do that. Because we're all the fucking same. Nobody's got it right. Nobody's ever got it right. No matter how shiny that fucking exterior is, no one's ever got it right. So forgive yourself, because you're not that same person. You're the person now. And you're a person. You're a person. Persons are not perfect. Never have been, never fucking will be. So you gotta forgive yourself. Know that you deserve to live a life fully expressed, a life fully lived, a life fully loved. And you gotta forgive yourself. You gotta talk a little nicer to yourself. You gotta give yourself some encouragement, some support. You gotta get a support group around you to help you. All right. Maybe that's the toughest part. But you can do that too. And then, all of a sudden, that you a year from now, and that you at the end of your life, you're there. None of that was out of your reach. What in that can you not do? I don't know. I don't think anything. You just have to do it. It's within your power. And there'll be shit that's not within your power. There'll be shit that fucking stresses and tests you, and the weight of which will seemingly crush you. But you can still do all those other things. You can still turn that nozzle from hot to cold. You can still eat that breakfast. And guess what? We're made of resilient shit. Whatever we compress, if we keep the faith, if we keep the process, we'll bounce back even bigger. That's how human beings adapt. Stress, recover. Stress, recover. It's how we get strong in the gym. It's how our psyche gets strong. It's how our emotion gets strong. Maybe a lot of us have been in a period where it's been a lot of weight we've been moving. All right, so maybe we need to recover for a little bit. But we'll be stronger for it. Maybe it's been fucking 15 years of weight. Okay, maybe it's been a whole lifetime of weight. Great. As soon as you recover, as soon as you heal, all of that weight you've been lifting is going to be strength that you carry forward. Wherever you are right now, the universe circled this place on a map. It's fucking perfect. Because whatever shit you've dealt with, whatever struggles, you can use that as momentum to move forward. Simple as that. Rely on the process, keep your heart open, and enjoy it. Enjoy it. The only thing that we're really going to regret is if we didn't really give it a go. If we didn't love, if we didn't live, if we didn't try, if we didn't give it our fucking best. Let's not be that. Let's none of us, let's all make a fucking deal here in the room, all of us here, that we're not going to be that. We're not going to let this thing fucking slip away from us without fucking tasting it and living it and being it. We're not going to do that. Not anybody here. Some people will, but not us. We're not going to do it. Can everybody agree to that?
Yes.
Let's agree. Let's do it, everybody. Clap their hands. So we only have one partially working microphone. So if anybody has any questions, why don't you line up here in this aisle here, and then we'll just answer questions like that. Hello? 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 Hello?
Hello? Eric. My question for you, what method do you use that's most effective for forgiving yourself? And how do you cut right into it?
Yeah. So he asked, what methods do you use for forgiving yourself, and how do you go right into it? So the method that I use for forgiving myself is what I talk about in the book. It's from the Hawaiian kahunas, and it's called Ho'oponopono. And it's just saying 4 things over and over to yourself. And it's identifying the universal in the singular. Identifying that everybody has the same parts of shame, the same things, the same failures, the same thing. And seeing that and recognizing that and saying these 4 things. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Forgive me. And you say that over and over to yourself until you fucking believe it. Until you really believe it. And when someone else does something that triggers you or bothers you, you say that to them until you believe it, until they believe it. Because we're all worthy of forgiveness. So we're fucking people. We're doing our best. If we could have done better, we would have done better. Forgive yourself.
So what have you struggled with most as an entrepreneur, and how have you learned from it and overcome it? And I asked you that because you seem like a guy who is really, you seem like a guy who doesn't have, and no offense, this great raw intelligence that just, I'm 16, I can start this driving business, but a guy who's taken his experiences and learned from it and become successful with it. So for someone who wants to be an entrepreneur, what advice do you have who's not a 16, 18-year-old genius that, yeah, but who's willing to work hard and put in the work and learn from their experiences and go for it?
I think, so he's asking about tips about how to be an entrepreneur, if you guys missed the start of that question. I think the key is you have to recognize how you can be of service. Like, a lot of times people think of like this gadget, oh, I'm going to write this software program and it's going to be cool and then I'll sell it and it'll be this little fucking widget. You got to think about the people who are consuming that and how it's going to benefit their life. Like, go straight all the way through to the joy and experience of the customer and really like lock straight into that. And just focus on delivering that shit. Don't worry about don't worry about how the money flows, don't worry about all that shit. Like the biggest companies, most of the time, they don't have any fucking idea how they're gonna make money. Even look at like Facebook. They just started monetizing that shit way late. Same with Google. They're like, I don't know, we're gonna make the best fucking search engine. Then people are gonna use it, and then we'll make money. You know, like that's the fucking general plan, right? But I think people get it backwards. They're like, how can I make money? And then they start thinking about like how they can, you know, help people. Maybe is a second thought. Maybe they're just stuck on how they can make money. So whatever you're doing, just think about, how can I be a service? How can I be a service? How can I help more? You know, how can I give more? And trust that the law of reciprocity will hold. What you give out will come back. Yeah.
This is a two-part question. Two-part loop.
That's science, Ian.
It works.
No.
It doesn't work.
No.
No.
I'll repeat it. From the moment you took action writing this book up until today, how long did it take you? And what was the biggest tip that you could give to someone who is writing?
From the moment I started working on this book, how long did it take me, and what's the biggest tip I could give to someone who's writing a book? The book took about 2 years from conception to creation and to right now. It's been about a 2-year journey. And I think the key thing there is not to hold on to what you thought it was going to be in any way, because it's going to become what it's going to become. It's like you give birth and you have this idea, oh, it's going to be a little mini-me. The kid's going to fucking crush it on the piano and they're going to fucking be a great basketball player and they're going to be all this. Maybe that kid doesn't like that shit. Maybe that's not what the kid really wants to be. And a book is weird like that. Like you're like a parent and you're guiding it to be of service to the people that need it. And so, and you don't know that though until you start. You don't really realize until you start getting feedback, you start diving in, and then it changes, it evolves, it becomes something that you didn't know what it was originally. Maybe you had a vague idea of what the mission was, but then like allowing it to become what it wants to become, and being able to get rid of these old ideas, these things that you thought, oh man, this is a great idea, I was brilliant here. And you're like, nope, I was dumb as shit. That does not work. It doesn't make any sense. No one, it's not, I'm not explaining myself right, or I'm following down rabbit holes that are interesting to me that aren't interesting to anybody else. Like, again, your book is of service to the readers. It's not a fucking pat on the back like, hey, look at me, I wrote a book. Like, sometimes you don't have stories that people want to listen to. That could be if you're just talking to somebody and you're just giving them a fucking ear beating about a story they don't give a shit about. Like, that's what a lot of books are. They're like visual fucking ear beatings from someone who's telling you a story. It's like, okay, whatever, I get it. But then there's other people who are great storytellers, who tell you things that are interesting, that keep you captivated, that give you some value. And that's what you want with a book, You can journal, you can write a book for yourself, that's cool, that's awesome. But that's a different thing. If you want to write a book of service, then you got to put yourself in the mind and heart of the people you're of service to, and allow the book to become that, and just get out of the way.
Awesome. Great, man. Thank you, sir.
For sure.
Mine's super deep but simple. Where do you get your source of love and light from?
Where do I get my source of love and light from? Where do you think?
I don't know.
Where does everybody think we get that from?
From the inside.
Jesus Christ. It's all the same answer.
Inside.
We all have it. Everything. We are the fucking sun. Everything else is just the clouds that are covering it. There's an infinite source of love and light inside all of us. It ain't coming from the outside. It's coming from the inside. And any attempt to go out there and find it from the outside is just a fool's errand. It's just putting more clouds over the light that we already have. It's saying, nope, I don't believe in you, son. I'm going to go find it somewhere else. And the sun's like, I'm here whenever you're ready. I'm shining. You just got to get out of the way. Get all those fears and insecurities and all those stories that you've been told about how you're not worthy, and how if you don't perform this way you shouldn't receive love, and how if you give love it'll be unrequited, someone will turn their shoulder. All this shit that we've been conditioned, it's just the cloud cover. And then you go deeper and you start to uncover that when you can take conscious control. And then you re-emerge with that childlike awe and love. Because it's all here, it's always been here, it'll always be here. You just gotta get the shit out of the way. That's it. We all got it. It's not stronger in some and weaker in others. Same. Same. Fucking whether you're Don Miguel Ruiz smiling at the sunset like it's the first motherfucking time he's ever seen the sunset, and he's 70 years old, and he gives you a hug like you're your long lost friend when he's never met you before. That guy doesn't have more love than us. He's just got less clouds. We're all the same. That's who we are. That's what animates our life. That's what animates our body. That's what makes us alive. Otherwise we're just fucking carbon and minerals and shit. Like, that's the thing. And that's what we all have. And that's at the core of all mystical religion. It's at the core of all experiential consciousness. It's the core truth when you drink all the weird plants in the world. Like, that's it. That's what you find, that you're love. And we all are.
Alright, thanks.
Yeah, for sure.
What's up, partner?
What's up?
So I wanted to ask specifically, what was some sort of rocket fuel, motivational, rocky type stuff that kind of clicked for you and you're like, I'm gonna go make Onnit during that time in your life? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what was that super motivation that helped me create Onnit? I think it was a combination of love and suffering. Like, I was deeply suffering because I knew I had more to give the world, and I wasn't giving it. I wasn't doing what I'm here to do. It's like a hammer is sitting there and it's got this big head, and it's ready to fucking hit something, but it finds nothing. It's in a fucking drawer full of cotton balls. It's just like, ugh, what am I doing? What am I? I'm being wasted. I have this fucking, I'm not doing what I'm here to do. Why? Why, universe, why? And then that was the deep suffering, and that was the depression, and that was the sadness. And then it was also the combination of that anchoring to love, like, well, maybe I'm not hammering every day, but there's a nail here or there that I can find. There's something that I can do. I can help this person, I can help this person, I can be a service here, I can be a service there. And then, you know, the combination of loving and wanting to help people, and then also just deeply suffering because I wasn't doing what I wanted to do. And those two forces really drove me to create what Onnit is now.
Love it. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah.
Sure.
First of all, appreciate you taking a lot of time out of your life, trying to, you know, make a positive influence into all of ours. And what is the greatest takeaway or lesson that you've had with your experiences with ayahuasca? And what are your words of wisdom for mental and physical preparation?
Okay, so he asked a question about ayahuasca, and I'm going to answer that, but we're going to cut questions off right here at the end of the line, just so everybody knows, so that there'll be plenty of time to take photos and stuff. So the ayahuasca is an interesting plant, and it's really interesting in that it works in two ways. One, it works on the physical body by actually helping you purge and release physical things out of your body. And it also works on your mind in that it drives you typically towards some of your greatest fears so that you can overcome them. So it gives you a shift in understanding. It clears that somatic memory of whatever that thing is out of your body. And I think that's why people have such a dramatic response with it, because you can get your mind right, but if your body's all internally crooked, storing the memory of that trauma, then the body will reinform the mind about the trauma, and you won't really maybe fully shift as much. Or if you just get it out of the body, but your head's all fucked up, then your head will reinform the body, and then the body will go back to the way it was. But ayahuasca is unique in that it can work on both. But as a caveat, it's a fucking trial by fire. Like, it's not for everybody. Everybody shouldn't go rushing down and doing it. And there's not a lot of great providers of it. It's, you know, it's a challenging subject. It can be immensely healing and immensely helpful. But if you do, just make sure that you're listening to yourself, listening to that quiet voice, that you know you're called to it. It's not a fucking Boy Scout merit badge. Like, you got to know that you're called to that, and that you could really do no other. And when you're at that state, then you're ready.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Will.
Yeah, sure. So everybody.
So I empathize with you because I traveled the world to 25 countries for 18 months. I came back and I was like, what the heck? I'm back in an office and I'm like, what am I doing with my life? And I'm trying to figure it out. But I noticed I've become more connected with nature, and it seems like and just, you know, sex and light and connecting with the earth. How did you get into that? Like, how did you become like connected to nature as a human? You know what I mean? What got you moving that direction? Because I feel like I've been going that direction, and I just randomly bumped into this event, and I just moved here, and now I'm here. So
yeah. So he's asking like, what helps get you connected to nature? How do you find your way into that? And I think the easy answer to that is like, we're always getting nudged. Like, we go for a walk and we feel better. We go to the beach, we wiggle our little toesies in the sand, and we swim in the water and we go, oh, it feels so good. Like, nature is always providing us with cues, with lessons, with a little bit of nurturing, like, advice. Like, hey, try this. See how good you feel when you're by the water. See how good you feel when you go hike a mountain. See how good you feel when you get a little sun. See how good you feel when you breathe, when you expose yourself to cold. We just gotta listen. You just gotta like, okay, body, what are you saying? Okay, mind, what are you saying? And then it'll move us towards nature. It'll move us towards all of the things that this book talks about. So a lot of it is just about just listening. Listening. And everybody, we can hold the applause to the end. I appreciate it though. It's awesome. I feel like I'm wearing you guys out with all the applause. So thank you.
Hey, what's going on, dude?
What's up?
Hey, so you seem to be a guy that is consistently in a good mood all the time. I mean, what?
False.
Okay. So, what are things that you think about, and what are actions that you take? You know, when shit's just hitting the fan, the fucker cuts you off in traffic, like everything that could possibly go wrong goes wrong. Like, what are not only your actions, but also your thoughts? And I've got a 0.5 little mini question after this, if that's okay.
What's the 0.5 mini question?
You got a tremendous amount of swag. Like, how do I dress like you? Not like that, not like that, not like that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that was a shameless plug. You know what I'm saying? I got you, bro. I got you.
Yeah.
All right, so he's asking, how do you deal when things go wrong? When everything is just fucked up? Like, how do you respond to that? You know? And how do you overcome that? And that shit can be hard because your mind will put you in these catacombs of confusion and catacombs of delusion where you can't even tell which way is up or down or how to get the fuck out or which way is right or which way is wrong. I've had some times where I was just taking a knee on the ground and weeping and just saying like, fuck, please, like please just help, something. So sometimes you just pray.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you don't have to follow any particular religion to pray. Just be like, just fucking help. Help. And listen to what the voices come in. Listen to the wisdom that comes through that. Surrender to whatever that thing you're holding, whatever you're trying to hold on to. If it's someone who did something wrong to you, it's this, like, you shouldn't have done that, you shouldn't have. Okay, you did that. And it's okay. Let go. Relax. Let it all go. Ask for help from the universe. Ask for help from yourself. Ask for help from those around you. Don't hold on to that thing that you think you need to hold on to because you don't fucking need it. Because you're the sun. You're the sun. What does the sun need? What is the sun asking for? Is it shining on the earth going, more flowers, or I'm stopping it? No, it doesn't say that shit. It just fucking shines. And that's who we are. As soon as we surrender, as soon as we get to that bleeding edge of surrender where we just let it all go, then we'll find our way out of the catacombs of delusion and illusion and fear and all the shit that keeps us from being who we really are.
I got you. That's great, man. Thank you so much.
Sure, brother.
Yeah.
An Aubrey Marcus collection.
Oh, yeah. This is my clothing collection. It's fun. If anybody's interested. Thank you.
All right, man. So MDMA is close. We got the cure is near. What is the best way that we can promote plant medicines here in the United States? Because everybody can't go to Peru. And also, are you planning on writing a book on the plant medicine path?
I think the best way that we can support plant medicine is to be careful in these critical years.
Right.
Like, we got maybe 2-3 years till MDMA is legal. We got 3-4 years till psilocybin is legal. Like, what we don't want to have happen is a bunch of people jump the gun and do a bunch of stupid shit and give the media and the press a bunch of reasons to slow the process down. It's like, we're in the last stage. Let's fucking be chill. Let's hang on. Let's support Hefter. Let's support MAPS. Let's keep it, keep the train going. Spread the wisdom about it. Spread the support. Spread the love. Spread the knowledge. But also, don't be zealots out there encouraging people to do things that are going to get in trouble. Because all it takes, the reason why you can only buy fucking truffles in Amsterdam now instead of the actual mushrooms? Because one person got too high and was going through something and jumped off a bridge. That's all it took. And the whole government made that illegal. Now, every single fucking day people are dying driving drunk. But these ideas in your head, that idea was strong enough, that vision of someone thinking they could fly, which is like this old psychedelic trope, was enough to make that whole drug illegal in the most liberal, radically liberal place. So, we all gotta just be mindful that we're nearing towards a conclusion. And once we get over, and it's in that legal class, then it's like a pharmaceutical. And then then it has a whole different layer of protection. It's way harder to unwind it. Obviously, as we know, pharmaceuticals kill tens of thousands of people every year. So we're in a safer place, So support the love, keep it chill, support the organizations that are making it legal. We're fucking so close.
You gonna write a
Almost
book?
there.
You gonna write a book?
I have a book that's already like in the process of being written. I don't know if it's a book though, but I'll tell you guys. It's called Shit the Plants Taught Me, and it's like a memoir of all the crazy psychedelic journeys and visions that I've had. And I don't really know what to do with it, but at some point I'll release it for sure.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, for sure. All right, 2 more questions.
So I really like how you talk about people with insecurities and how everyone is not necessarily perfect. So I'm wondering if you can share a time where you felt as though you made a mistake. Maybe it was on your path with Onnit or On the Day, or perhaps even before that. But you made a mistake, you felt horrible at the time, and then what did you learn from it?
I don't have to think back far when I made a mistake. I can think back like hours. You know, you can think back like a week. And I think I'm the type of person that's constantly pushing myself into areas where I might fail. You know, like I might make a mistake. I'm gonna be challenged because I know that's where the growth comes. The growth comes from the failure. It comes from the mistakes. It comes from fucking it up. And that's, you know, I'm in an open relationship with my fiance Whitney, and you're gonna fail a bunch of times during that. And you're gonna keep failing, and you'll fail in the same way, and you'll fail in slightly different ways, and you'll fail. But inevitably, like the growth curve comes and you learn. And you get to practice forgiveness, not just for yourself, but for your partner. You get to find where your insecurities are, where you're seeking validation, where you're pretending that you're not the sun, where you're being the sun in drag and putting on all these clothes and saying, oh, love my swag, instead of loving me for who I am. All of these things, you'll find opportunities to fail in. And then when you fail in, and you fucking fall in shit and broken glass, and you're just covered in it, and you're on your knees begging for help, and help comes, and you start to figure it out, and you start to know who you are, and you start to learn from that. And there's a million ways to do that. You know, there's a million ways to push yourself to that edge where you have to learn, you have to adapt, but you have to be willing to fail, and you have to be willing to acknowledge, like, oh yeah, I blew it there. That's cool, because I learned a little something. I got a little bit of understanding, I got a little bit of knowledge. I'm not gonna stay stuck in that same place and punish myself more for that. I'm gonna be the person that learned from that. I'm gonna be the person that's better from that. And that's the only move that we have to make. Push yourself to the failure, push yourself to the mistakes, knowing that that's where the wisdom and that's where you're going to have the value.
Thank you.
Hey Aubrey, I would like to know how do you stay focused and patient during the process and not get too stressed about the expectations you put yourself, and just not putting that stress on yourself and I have to make this amount of money, I have to make this amount of impact, and just how do you stay patient when you're not seeing the results necessarily day to day?
You're asking a question of how do you stay patient, how do you stay focused, how do you not look at where you are now compared to where else? Really, you're asking a question of how do you have faith? It's really just about, sometimes it's just fucking raw faith, man. It's just faith that you're gonna find a way. You're gonna fucking make it. Like you look back at like old, like crazy heroes, right? And like you look at Conor McGregor's early training videos, and he's this fucking kind of ugly, weird looking dude in Ireland. And he's like, I'm gonna be fucking world champion. And he believed that, and everybody's like, okay buddy, sure. Yeah, all right. But he fucking believed the shit out of that. He like had faith, and he kept working, and he had faith. And he surrendered to his own process of being there. And now look at him, fucking, besides doing some stupid shit with a bus, he's got like millionaire swag, world title belts, and he just had faith from the start. And we're not all gonna be Conor McGregors, you know, but we're all gonna be what we're there to be if we keep the faith. Just like, and it's a radical fucking move because you don't know, you won't know, you don't know. That's what faith is. It's not knowledge. It's not like, I have knowledge that I'm going to be champion. No, he just had faith. He just believed. And if he fucking dies believing, all right, at least he did his best. Like if you get fucking slain in battle doing your best, okay, who cares? So what? But if you doubted yourself and you didn't try because you're worried that if you fail, what would you think of yourself? And maybe around that, then you're gonna have some regrets. But if you go out there and just say, fuck, I believe, I'm gonna fucking do whatever I can. And maybe it won't do much, but I'm gonna give it everything I got, then you got nothing to lose. You go to fucking Valhalla every time and drink mead with the other fucking warriors, and every single person will see you, and if you sent it, if you've given it, they'll look at you and go, brother. Doesn't matter who the fuck it is. Doesn't matter if it's fucking Tim Kennedy right here. If you send it with your life and you fucking give it, say brother, they'll say sister. They'll recognize self no matter what your external accomplishments are. And that's really what you have to rely on. Just know that you're only responsible for the process. You're only responsible for giving it. And that's all you got. Thank you. All right, last question.
Do you see pharmaceutical corporations putting an evil twist on plant medicines once they're legalized?
All right, last question. Do I see pharmaceutical corporations putting an evil twist on plant medicines? You know, I think a lot of times people think that there's like this conglomerate that's like really has malintentions, and I think it's not that. I think it's just a corporation grows up and it becomes an entity, and that entity is growing, and it wants to grow as all entities want to grow. And to grow, it requires food. And the food for a corporation is money. And so the corporation, as it becomes bigger, and as it becomes bigger, it becomes hungrier and hungrier. And it's just hungry for money. But it's not like there's necessarily a big conspiracy or people. It's just these hungry organizations that are just trying to consume and consume and consume. And I don't think there is that force that's going to intentionally group up to do it. And I don't think it could happen really if they try, because you rely on the scientific method. It's what they are built on. And in order to destroy psychedelics, you'd have to destroy the scientific method. You'd have to destroy double-blind studies and clinical trials and results. You destroy double-blind studies and clinical trials and results, you destroy pharmaceuticals. So by doing it that way, you're building it in the right way, and you're building a natural inherent defense. And fuck, some of these people in the pharmaceuticals, they're going to be taking the psychedelics, and they may start to shift, and they may start to see things differently, and then the whole thing may start to be different, you know? So, you know, they're taking their own poison. You know, it's not like there's these people in the pharmaceutical companies that are like, we're going to sell this shit, but I'm going to take fucking fresh air, sunlight, and sex. No, they're all taking more fucking prescriptions than we are. You know, they're in their own shit. And so when they get the way out, I think they'll help everybody else get the way out. So I'm very optimistic about that.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. The last thing I'm going to leave you with, there's an expression from the Lakota people. It's Hoka-Hey. And it's been my guiding star since I heard it. And that means today is a good day to die. And to be there, you gotta fucking live. You gotta live. So start now. Start now. Start in this room. Fucking hug somebody. Have a laugh. Have a drink. Like, live. Live now. And hopefully this book will help everybody here find the ways to live just a little bit better and enjoy this thing just a little bit more, and get a little bit closer to that moment where we can all walk outside like that agreement we made and say, Hoka motherfucking hey, today is a good day. Woo!